The other day I was sitting there, eating some bread the brutal way. The other day I was sitting there, eating some bread the brutal way. Rough day, rain, alarm didn't go off, one of those heavy ones at work. Nobody said anything to me, of course. They're not in any position to get picky either. So there we were, the bread and me, both getting beaten down brutally. Rambling something like, "Hell of a beating, though." Well, not bad for my first job at 18. Still, $18.70 an hour isn't exactly a gold mine either. Let's review then what's for dinner. Part-time night and early morning shift. Physically demanding as hell, high turnover. 3 different areas in a rush. Barely in the first month. Injuries, illnesses, a schedule that changes every week and every day. From 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. That's without your phone to pat you on the back. A hell of one, but, well, it is what it is. So why do it then? Well, there's always a need for meat for the grinder, so they grab you quick and desperate with an extra incentive for the shit schedule. And they don't give you trouble for not knowing English. Plus it adds something decent to the CV, if you don't die along the way, of course. It's a slaughterhouse, that's clear, but you're not going to marry it. People fall, get sick, and leave. It's not a high turnover shift because it's pretty, I suppose. The average worker is already soaked through pale skin, sickness, dark circles and back braces here, people downing 2 to 4 cans of Red Bull, Monster or coffee over there. Lots of people go out to smoke in the courtyards. And it's not just tobacco and nicotine, if my nose isn't lying. Those slight discomforts, that feeling in the joints, the back in bad shape, the light sleep, the peculiar sensation in the stomach, that slight decline from around that area. You learn little by little to live with it, to ignore it. It's normal, usual, every day. It's a rough thing, of course, but it doesn't feel like stone being crushed. It's more like a bunch of drops falling non-stop on its surface until suddenly there's a hole. When they realize it, they go to the doctor. They read up about their shift. They get provisional patches, which will be better or worse depending on circumstances. Almost always it's just to keep functioning, not to fix it. Hard to read between the lines. What I can't see is the people who get severely injured in just the first few weeks, the nastier illnesses, the ones from nutritional deficiencies, the cold hit due to physical demands, and a long list more that gets filtered out quickly before I can even understand it moderately. Rough deal. Then I took a sip from the glass of milk because the bread was too dry. Obviously it's chaos, my friend, so let's talk then more or less properly. Hash, a fun list of vitamin deficiencies for a person on night shift. 1. Vitamin D. 2. Magnesium. 3. B-complex vitamins, especially B12, B6 and B9, folic acid. 4. Iron. 5. Vitamin C. 6. Zinc. 7. Calcium, worsened by lack of vitamin D. 8. Omega-3 fatty acids. 9. Melatonin, not a vitamin, but important anyway. 10. Potassium, a real scary list. Look up what their deficiencies cause if you don't believe me. But anyway, hanged. Let's read just a bit about cumulative effects and pathologies. Cancer. The combination of circadian disruption, low melatonin, plus chronic inflammation, low omega-3, plus oxidative stress, plus immune dysfunction, low vitamin D and zinc, plus DNA damage from lack of B vitamins creates the perfect breeding ground for tumor cells to start and proliferate. Cardiovascular disease and hypertension from low magnesium, plus damaged arteries from high homocysteine due to lack of B vitamins, plus inflammation from low omega-3, plus arrhythmias from low magnesium and potassium led straight to heart attacks, strokes and thrombosis. Mental and neurological disorders, brain fog from low B12, plus irritability and anxiety from low magnesium, plus depression from low omega, D3 and B12 plus exhaustion from anemia are a recipe for a nervous breakdown. Accelerated aging. Oxidative stress plus inflammation plus non-restorative sleep plus bone and muscle wear make a 35-year-old's body function and feel like a 50-year-old's. Hanchung Atan, and is there anything to not die? Exercise done properly, since added to the effort of physical work, you can cause injuries from accumulated damage if it's not regulated and done right. This will help us with bone health, cell regeneration, nutritional optimization, metabolic regulation, muscle strengthening, stress management, hormonal balance, cardiovascular health, inflammatory control, immune function, cognitive function, mental health, and circadian regulation, and a few more. Then nutrition. To support the deficiencies, we'll play with specialized multivitamins. For example, a man in intense physical work needs more of certain nutrients, like zinc and magnesium, for testosterone synthesis and muscle recovery, than a woman in the same conditions, who in turn usually requires a specific and greater supply of iron. All this delicately, of course. We're playing with medications. They're rough, and you have to be careful with fire not to burn yourself. Check the side effects of what's in your kitchen, my friend. The one I have is a 1 a day for men. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, 1000 to 2000 IU, since in night work there's not much sun exposure, which would be our main source of vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, thiamine, vitamin B1, riboflavin, vitamin B2, niacin, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, folate, as folic acid, vitamin B12, biotin, pantothenic acid, vitamin B5, calcium, iron, iodine, magnesium, zinc, selenium, copper, manganese, chromium, molybdenum, lycopene. It won't do much either if you eat bread with Coca-Cola like a wreck, but it'll help us a lot. The trick is to swallow it while you eat, to facilitate absorption. But if there's no time, raw is better than nothing. You must verify well not to cause overdoses, which are also rough business. In foods, we need essential amino acids, proteins, more vitamins, electrolytes, minerals, fats, fiber, and other stuff. What does that look like day to day? Besides the multivitamin, we'll also need eggs, legumes, meats, tuna, sardines, salmon, milk, water, mineral water, real whole wheat bread, real brown rice, fruits, vegetables, walnuts, almonds, olive oil or butter, chicken and other stuff. The list is really long actually. It's nutrition. Grab what you like best and eat, my good friend. That's what it's about. There's also coffee, chocolate, energy drinks, wine, beer, and such. It's not excellent, but I'm not your father either. Nothing much will happen. In fact, it'll be more necessary and inevitable than you think. We're in a rough spot. Nothing happens either if one sick day you decide to go to Walmart and buy pineapple liquor, lots of water, 3 electrolytes for later, whole wheat bread, a Coca-Cola, chocolate, milk because it ran out, and tomato chips. That's how it is sometimes. The struggle will be not falling into addictions like alcohol, tobacco, nicotine, adult things that aren't your imagination, painkillers, sleeping pills, gambling, casino, sugars, screens, or your bottled up emotions done brutally. There's little you can do with these last ones, being men certainly, but that's how it is. Even so, look for videos of people who explain your situation clearly. Comments, more wretches in the same boat, relevant studies. Turn it over an internal dialogue. Anything but leaving it alone. For the rest, it's rough. I don't have any especially, but I know them well. It's ugly business. You have to find people who don't say stupid things. Real studies, your specific physiology, if you sleep well, imbalances, poor diet, specific medications, compensations, treatments, side effects, neurological effects, physiological effects, the components of what you consume, some sociology, methodologies to avoid anhedonia. It's always rough business looking for so much nonsense, but it's for a good cause, my friend. We'd also need some support on the nice side: literature, series, movies, audiobooks, videos, video games, cooking, playing cards, listening to music, reading manga, pen spinning, doing origami, drawing a bit, calligraphy, writing, guitar, singing, dancing, pull-ups, maybe also lying down just because not thinking, seeing that ugly bird over there, going outside and sitting for no reason, driving a bit, looking at the sky, the drops on the windshield, imagining something interesting, or just thinking for a bit. It's not laziness, it's not wasting time, it's not being lazy, it's not procrastination, it's not unproductivity, it's not uselessness. If you swallow that bullshit tale they preach like parrots, it'll be rough for you, my friend. You can't eat nutritious food if you don't like it, just like you can't sleep on a wet mattress. That's the grace of it. Boring stability. Now, to trick chronobiology on a night shift and keep the body minimally synchronized, you have to play dirty with the internal clock. Use bright blue light, like LED lamps or screens, during the first hours of the shift to simulate day and stay alert. Then avoid it at least 2 hours before sleep, so you don't sabotage melatonin. Sleep in a dark room with blackout curtains and cool temperature, 16 to 20 degrees Celsius or so, and establish a fixed sleep schedule, even if work changes, to anchor your circadian rhythm. Eat at SAD's strategic times, a meal rich in proteins and healthy fats like eggs, avocado, or salmon, at the start of the shift for sustained energy, a light snack, nuts, yogurt, mid-shift so as not to overload the stomach, and a post-shift meal with complex carbohydrates, brown rice, legumes, to calm the nervous system and facilitate sleep. Avoid eating heavy right before sleeping so you don't screw up digestion. Supplement with melatonin, 0.5 to 3 milligrams, 1 to 2 hours before sleep, if necessary, but carefully so you don't throw yourself off more. The key is consistency. Trick the body with light, food and sleep at fixed times, and you won't give in so easily to the brutality of night shift. And there's also neurology. To understand mental fatigue, regulate mood and avoid nervous system wear. Physiology. To optimize recovery, manage energy and prevent collapse from physical stress. Medicine. To identify deficiencies in time, prevent injuries and manage the consequences of chronic wear. Chemistry. To know how nutrients and supplements repair the body at the molecular level and keep the internal machinery running. Chronobiology. To synchronize your internal clock, maximize nighttime performance and protect your health against the desynchronization of shift work, and a bunch more. And let's review. 1. Chronobiology. Because without aligning the clock to the shift, everything else gets thrown off. 2. Nutrition. Because the body needs real fuel, protein, good fat, and multivitamins to plug holes. 3. Smart exercise. Because staying functional isn't the same as wearing yourself out. 4. Neurology. Because if the head falls, everything falls. 5. Physiology. Because understanding how the body responds prevents breaking it. 6. Endocrinology. Because hormones set the rhythm, sleep, and energy. 7. Immunology. Because without defenses, fatigue devours you. 8. Support for the nice stuff. Because fuck it. It's ridiculously brutal and it's the minimum requirement to make it through. You and I have it nice, but what's it like for decent people? They grow up with their mother telling them to eat their vegetables to be strong, drink milk to grow tall, and eat carrots to improve their vision. Then they use their fine nutritional knowledge to avoid injury to their bilateral metacarpophalangeal joints and orofacial trauma. Very proportionate everything, yes sir. Maybe, I don't know, the closest thing was at 8. I was sitting eating some chips with tap water because there was no milk, watching 4 wretches chasing a dog with a backpack in its mouth while my friend told me how he saw a man die the other day. Stuffy kid voice. He drank dirty water and worms came out of his arse. Want a sip? Ah, and the dog showed up, sat down and looked at me. And I looked at him, and he looked at how I saw that he was looking at me, but then I looked at how he saw that I saw that he saw that I was looking at him, but then he looked at how I saw that he saw that I saw that he saw that I was observing him, but then I looked at how he saw that I saw that he saw that I saw that he saw that I was looking at him, but then he looked at how I saw that he saw that I saw that he saw that I saw that he saw that I was observing him, but then I looked at how he saw that I saw that he saw that I saw that he saw that I saw. Give me your food, asshole. Absolutely, that's what he said. I heard it with these 2 ears, I swear. So there we were, me and the dog, chewing like cows. But anyway, I finished eating and went to rest.